What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another Classic WoW video for Season of Discovery. Now, today we're talking about a gold farm. This one is absolutely crazy, and trust me, you do not want to miss out on this one. So once again, we're talking about a gold farm right now, specifically for Phase 3. That being said, you can even do this one right now in Phase 2 as well. We are kind of using a little bit of a trick here to pull the mobs, and we're killing very high level mobs. The mobs are between level 51 and 54, and in Phase 2 we're currently level 40, but it's still doable in Phase 2 as well. Now in Phase 3 we're gonna get to level 50, the farm itself will be way more contested, and it's gonna be way easier to kill the mobs, but once again, there's gonna be a lot more people here, so doing it in Phase 2 could be the way to go, but also in Phase 3, if you happen to have this farm to yourself, it is going to be absolutely ridiculous. And we've also found a way to pull way more mobs than usual, as pretty much any class. Well, you need to have some AoE or multi-dotting abilities, but anyone can pull a bunch of mobs here and do this farm quite effectively. So class doesn't really matter too much, but as always, hunters and mages are pretty much the kings of open world gold farming, so keep that in mind. Now, this farm was shared with me by Marco from my Goldmaking community, which is like a tight-knit Goldmaking Discord that we have for finding gold farms, the best investment, and watercraft to make a lot of gold. If you want to have access to it and you don't already have it, you gain access by purchasing my gold making guide for Classic WoW, which has gotten updated for Season of Discovery. It's 157 pages long, contains 50 different gold farms, the best investments, the best ways to make gold, and once again, access to that gold making community, where I'm giving you guys early access to videos like this one, and investment videos, and it's just my way to try to help you make a lot of gold and the most gold that I can, providing the most value that I can. And instead of just giving you the guide, I also want to make sure that we stay in touch and I can help you on a day-to-day basis in that community as well, and just once again giving you early access to videos so you can do the farms before they go public. Like this one, for example, it's being recorded on Saturday and it's probably going to go live a little bit before Phase 3 comes out, but we do have a lot of backlogged videos that I do want to push out before Phase 3. The thing is, Phase 3 got announced and we only had like 10 days to prep, so there's a lot of things to do in those 10 days, so I'm just doing what I can in those 10 days to get as prepared as I can and helping you guys do the same. So now, with that being out of the way, once again, check out the gold guide to the link down below in the video description or the pinned comment. Once again, you get early access to farms, investments, the very best gold making advice that I can give you, and once again, I made 11,000 gold in Phase 2 and I'm sharing absolutely everything that I'm using to make gold over there. Check it out, the link is down below. Now let's talk about the farm. The first thing first is that I'm obviously playing on Classic Era right now. Level 60 is not available in Season of Discovery, but I'm going to be showing you the farm from a level 40 point of view. I just want to go here to talk about the farm. It's like in Dalison's Tiers in Western Plaguelands. So like this farm right here on the map, as you can see, you want to go to this farm. Once again, if you're doing this in Phase 2, it's a little bit sketch. It's a level 50 plus zone and getting here is going to be a little bit difficult, but in Phase 3, once again, this is going to be your home. You're going to be in Western Plaguelands a lot. Trust me on that one. There's so many items dropping here. It's going to be great. Now, let's talk about the farm. So for the farm itself, you're focused on killing blighted zombies and basically all of the different types of zombies on the farm. You have blighted zombies, you also have the rotting cadavers, and you have some skeletons as well spawning around this place. So you just pull as many of them as you can in one big pull. Alternatively, if you're a single target player, you can also pull them one by one, but for gold farming purposes, you will be a lot better off by just literally cleaving. If you're playing a shadow priest, even that, just dot as many as you can and just keep kiting them back and forth. As a mage, maybe try to pull with some low mana spells and try to burst them down together with, for example, Living Flame. And if you're playing a hunter, then pull as many as you can with Eye of the Beast, or pull as many of you as you can with your pet, and then just dismiss your pet and they run to you. Basically, if you've done SM Cathedral farming or Uldaman farming, it's the same thing, but in the open world. So when it comes to the farm, you're abusing this tree when it comes to their pathing. So if you pull a mob, I can just pull one with Moonfire, for example, you would pull him back here, you would then jump on top of the tree stump, and they're going to be pathing around the tree to get to you. So they're going to be pathing up the tree stump here, and when he's pathing up, you go down, and when he goes down, you go back up, and you just juggle them back and forth, and that is the entire, like, basis of the farm itself. Now, obviously, you need to keep attacking them while you're juggling them back and forth, otherwise they will reset like you just saw right right there. I just wanted to show you the basis of the farm, so once again you're using an object in the open world to kind of trick their pathing, and by doing this there's basically no risk of you dying. If you're playing a priest, once again, when you're face tanking as a priest, pulling more than one mob at a time can be difficult sometimes, but in this case you can literally pull a lot of mobs with Shadow Word Pain, and you can searing, what is it called again? Searing Pain? Not Searing Pain, but like Shadow... whatever the AoE is for Shadow Priest. I am absolutely missing out on that one, but not Mind Seer, right? Mind Seer. So you can use that as a channel to kill a lot of mobs at the same time. So even something like a Shadow Priest would be good here. Just any range, maybe even a Boomkin, because Typhoon is getting massively buffed. Not Typhoon, but Hurricane is getting buffed massively in phase 3. So it will both deal more damage, it will cost less mana, I think, and also not be on a cooldown. So even Boomkins can do this farm, and you just once again use the pathing here to take little to no damage while bursting down the mobs. So, with the explanation of the farm out of the way, let's take a look at somebody doing this right now in phase 2 at level 40, because what I just said at the beginning of the video was that you can do this right now to prepare for phase 3. I also want to talk about the loot table from the mobs themselves and why you want to do this farm. The thing is, this farm is good for many different reasons, and we're gonna get into that in this video. So here we have the point of view of a level 40 hunter doing the farm. I do think my face cam is slightly over his level counter right now, so if I move this really fast, he just went into combat, but it's going to be very clear that he's level 40, and doing this right now in Season of Discovery, even with the abilities he's using, you can see that he's level 40, and based on the damage that he's doing during the pull, you can also see that he is, once again, level 40, and this is in phase 2, doing the farm itself. Using the beast, he's going to be pulling all of these mobs, and as you can see, they're now moving to him, and he's just making sure that he's pulling as many mobs as he can, because once the pull is over, there's little to no risk of anything. You barely take any damage. Once again, when you get a slow off right here, they're slowed for 35 seconds, and then you just AoE. As you can see, we're dealing very little damage right now in phase 2, and they're resisting a lot. And when we're dealing damage, we're dealing like 15 damage, sometimes 6 damage as well. If you're doing this as a mage, it's borderline impossible. It's a hunter farm right now in phase 2, but in phase 3, once again, many more classes can do this, and you're just pulling as many as you can, then just AoEing them and juggling them back and forth on this ledge. That is the entire mechanic. You're juggling them on the ledge, and that way many more classes can do this farm. It used to be like a mage specific farm. In Classic Era, for example, mages leveled here from level 50 plus. I think you juggled farms, so you started like on the other side until level 54 and came to this farm around level 54 and then started doing this farm as well. Now in phase 3 it's going to be an absolutely ridiculous gold farm because these mobs drops a lot of good loot. Now we can take a look at the loot real quick while we're doing the pull right here. Now once again, this is between 10 and 20 mobs somewhere. I think it's like probably 15 mobs, between 10 and 20. I don't really know exactly how many mobs this is, but it does take a little bit of time, because once again we're killing level 51 to 54 mobs as level 40, but in phase 3 this pull and the kill time would be way faster. That being said, it's also going to be a lot more competitive and contested, so doing it in phase 2, and like the bonuses here is that the items are worth more, and you can pre-stock up on, like, for example, rune cloth, recipes, even the scourge stones. Maybe not the scourge stones because you have to have the quest for those, but you can pre-stock on mana potions, health potions, everything from their loot table. You can start stocking up on right now, and some people have even been using this during phase 2 to farm travelers' backpacks and sell those on the auction house. They were selling for hundreds of gold, and they have like they can drop from these mobs, but not really. They don't really have the best drop rate, but then again you just farm these and it's very easy, it just takes time. So going to the loot table real quick, let's take a look at why you want to do the farm. So first of all, you can get the scourge stones, you can get quest items, you can get heavy junk boxes, you can get rune cloth, night crawlers, Icor of Undeath, and just a lot of regular items. You can get major healing potions on a 2% drop chance, superior mana potions, 1% drop chance. You can also get these scrolls of agility rank 3 and strength Strength rank 3. Now, if you played Phase 2, you know that scrolls are selling for a lot of gold because speedrunners, parsers, people really want to have these when they're going for their parse runs. So anything that helps people increase their DPS does usually go for a lot on the auction house, and the rank 3 skulls, they shouldn't really be anything different. Requires level 40 as well, gives you 13 agility and 13 strength alike for 30 minutes. So scrolls could be absolutely massive. You also get mithril lockboxes, star ruby, aquamarine, a bunch of random greens. Now if you get a good green here with like either shadow power, fire power, or something like healing power, it could really be worth having, especially for cloth. Even for a boomkin, you can have like a leather piece with either arcane spell damage or nature spell damage. Rolling the right stats on some of these greens could be absolutely great as well, and make it even more worth it for you. On top of that, you can get Journeyman's backpack with a 0.03% drop chance. So once again, pretty low drop chance on that one, but scrolling down, you can also see Traveler's backpacks on a 0.02% drop chance, so you can actually have a pretty solid chance at getting Traveler's backpacks. Now, 0.02% means that you would have to farm this for quite a bit to even see one of these, but once again, they can drop. And on top of that, if we go to the second to last page, so we go one over there and then jump to the previous part, you can see there's some pretty good blues, and also, yeah, some pretty good blues here. You can get 4 of Portals, 4 of Warlords, Dooley's Dagger, level 50 dagger right here on the one hand, with 1.3 speed. So for speed purposes, that's pretty good. You have a couple of helmets, some blues, Soulkeeper, User's Strength, and the glowing Brightwood Staff. Now from the other mob, the Blighted Zombies, we have the same items for the most part. So we have once again Rune Cloth, Heavy Junk Box, and healing potions, mana potions, greens, scrolls. And jumping to the second to last part, once again we can go to the last one and then go one back. Going down to the epics here, you can see that they drop Freezing Bands, level 47 requirement, and 21 damage done by frost spells, and also gives the chance to freeze attackers for 5 seconds. This is an absolutely incredible epic to have. You also have the Shadow Blade, 1.4 speed dagger in one hand, and also level 48, with 38.93% DPS, and also chance on hit to send a shadowy bolt at the enemy, causing X amount of shadow damage. You also have Stockade Pauldrons, so there are some pretty good epics to be found here as well, on top of the Traveler's backpacks, the regular Journeyman's backpacks, a bunch of random greens, healing potions, mana potions, and to top everything off, they also give you Argent Dawn reputation. So when you finish the pull and you finish killing these mobs, they give you Argent Dawn reputation. Now, why is that important? We have a food item in Phase 3 called Grilled Squid, which is like a seasonal fish that people have been stocking up on, and people have been asking about what is the alternative, or are there even any alternatives? Now, we can take a look at this. We have for example, the smoked desert dumplings. This one requires level 45. So it should really be a good alternative to grilled squid. Requires level 45, and you gain 20 strength for 15 minutes. Now, if this one was available, this would be better, because you get way more. So 15 strength, 20 strength is pretty good for 15 minutes. That being said, in order to get this recipe, you have to do a quest. And this quest is a level 57 quest, but it also requires level 54, which means this quest and the recipe in the same case will not be available in Phase 3. That being said, we have something called the Blessed Sunfruit. This one requires level 45, gives you 10 strength for 10 minutes, and it's sold by a vendor. It costs you 54 silver. Well, the actual cost depends on your reputation here, but you need to have it revered anyway to buy them. So let's just say 54 silver. That's gonna be a lot cheaper than grilled squid for the Blessed Sunfruit. And I even think when you buy them, you get way more than one. In this case, yeah, you buy a stack of 5 for 54 silver, which means that one of these costs you about 11 silver, compared to grilled squid, which is going to be between 1 and 2 gold. That being said, once again, you do need to have revered, but killing these mobs can confirm to get you all the way to Honored, and maybe even revered as well. Now, farming that rep will take time, but it's definitely worth adding here, because if you're playing a warrior, paladin, anyone using strength, this food is going to save you so much gold if you're raiding every single week. Now, once again, does take time, but if you're doing the farm anyway, it's just another added bonus to the farm itself. So Blessed Sunfruit, you can start buying those from the vendor and get strength stat food, which I just think is worth adding to, like, when we're talking about the farm, it's definitely another reason to do the farm. You could even start selling the rep while doing the farm. That's like thinking way ahead though, but selling the rep to a warrior, for example, who can't do this farm, they can just be AFK. For, let's just say they go AFK for 12 hours while you farm, they get rep. Like, if I just take this away right now, we can take this away from the window capture, and take away here, you can see he gets 5 rep for every single kill. So if you're playing a warrior and you need to have Argent Dawn rep, once again you can get yourself into a group like this and literally go AFK and still get rep gains, which once again I think is worth noting. So there we go, that is the entire pull over, roughly about 15 mobs, and as you can see he's looting a lot of raw silver, a bunch of rune cloth in the same loot, and also got 1 superior mana potion at the same time. Now the loot is kind of like a, it's very RNG. Sometimes you get lucky and you get really good loot, sometimes you get absolute crap loot. This pull right here might not have been the best one on paper, but once again you're like getting a lot of raw currency as well, a lot of raw silver. So yeah, once again, that is the farm that I wanted to show you guys today. Feel free to go absolutely ham with this in phase 3. I'm going to be looking for a lot more farms like this, where we're once again taking advantage of objects in the open world to kind of trick the mob pathing, and to make farming a lot more easy. Like, once again, by doing this, you take little to no damage, and being something like a Boomkin suddenly becomes available, being a Shadow Priest also becomes available for gold farming. It just makes everything way better, and it makes the farms more available to pretty much everyone when you know about like the mob pathing and how to trick the mob pathing in your favor. So once again, feel free to take advantage of this either right now in phase 2 or in phase 3, and let me know how much gold you're able to make. And if you find any place like this and you want to share it, feel free to leave a comment down below or let me know on Discord as well. I will be actively looking for these, and I hope you guys could do too. Either way, that's the video. Let me know your thoughts on everything in the comments down below. If you have anything to share, once again, the comments down below is the place to do so. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more gold making content. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you again very soon.